when I was a kid, everybody at school wanted to be in a rock and roll band. They used to stand in front of the bedroom mirror, miming with a tennis racket. Me, I wanted to win Wimbledon. I used to practice me backhand volley with a bass guitar. I was on Mastermind last week. My specialist subject was pig ignorance. From 1972 to the present day. I didn't get one question right from beginning to end. I'm in the final next week. It's a funny name, isn't it? Magnus Magnusson. Apparently it's Icelandic for Robert Robinson. I hate quiz shows. Always asking you questions. Won't leave you alone for 5 minutes. I wouldn't mind my own quiz show, though. I'd call it Who's Corpse? I'd dig up famous people who'd been dead for several years, and contestants would have to try and guess who they were. Is it Ivor Novello? I've got to move house. In my wardrobe, there's a time tunnel leading back to the 16th century. I've been putting shirts in there, and they've been turning up in 1529. I only found out by accident. I went to the National Portrait Gallery, and there's a picture of Henry VIII, and he's wearing a pair of my socks. I wouldn't mind if they look better on him than they do on me. There's another one of Anne Boleyn wearing my anorak. I only got it back last week. I found it at the bottom of the wardrobe. It's completely ruined. There's an axe mark right through the back of the hood. Another problem about where I live is I've got no facilities. Well, I admit there is an outside toilet, but that's in Aberdeen. I got it on a timeshare with a bloke from Grimsby. Can't wait for the last 2 weeks in July.
There's no need to worry, Mr. Hammond. I'm going to give you some gas so you won't feel a thing. We'll soon have that molar out. Excuse me. Hello? Oh, hello, darling. Of course I don't know where your biro is. Yes, I know it was a souvenir from Canada. Well, all right. On Saturday, I'll go to Canada and buy you one. Does that make you happy? Well, I don't know what else I'm expected to do. I can't be responsible for all your pens and pencils. Why do you always have to depend on me? You know how busy I am at the moment. But what's the point of having a pen pal in Croydon? They only live 2 streets away.
Come down sometime.
No, I'm not going down. I'm never going back down there. I'm doing my braining. I've counted all the bricks in myself. I've worked out the size of the kitchen block in cubic centimetres. Do you know how many peas you can get on a spoon? 138. And that's not Marifat. Marifat, you only get 47.
You come down now, Carver, and we'll go easy on you. Carver? Carver? Come on here! You really must make more of an effort to fit in with people.
Don't you come any closer, I'm warning you.
Those are pottery classes. You could have joined them.
They're no good to me, are they? Not since McCready smashed my gravy boat.
Watch out!
What is it about you and society, Carver?
It's not society, it's D-Wing. I don't want to go back to D-Wing.
It was your fault for getting drunk in the safari park in the first place. And where's the baboon now? Can't we get enough cheap board?
Oh, that was quick. Thank you very much. I didn't feel a thing.
Oh,
Yes, sir, what can I do for you?
if you've got a sort of water in to get us along, wait a minute or something again, waiting it up.
Do you want large or small?
Well, I'm sort of sitting again, a lot of water in, with the collar set, with the cop.
Do you want mains operated or battery operated?
Oh, sorry, you can't let it better down. You got to sit down, fall the spread out, what you know, rip and move up.
And is that with or without a stepladder?
Well, if that sort of what's in it, and you get the choice of that.
Well, I can give you a choice. There's duck, peacock or turkey.
Saddle. Who like a sort of they can get a saddle in, you get the choice of that, the bingo.
Yes, the violin is detachable. Do you want it wrapped?
What kind of sound about it music's all in? You had a choice of that. You get the button of it in, and you get the choice of that fall. Bit tall in, but the colour said all for the eye.
Fair enough. Here we are. That'll be 15 quid.
You had a bloody hell of time to bloody anybody move down. You've got to get a set the daughter off in it. You let the put the 40 chin and you get the trolley money.
Thank you very much.
Right, that's all.
And here's your plug.
Oh, right. Right, get it in. You let the torch get out. Bought for it. Pull up. Hey. You let a bloody head. Can I suck the bloody head? You got
I can't understand it. Yesterday I couldn't give them away. Today everybody wants one. Isn't it marvellous?
Is he going to be all right?
It's too early to say. Was your husband conscious when you found him, Mrs. Young?
No, he was just lying there at the bottom of the stairs.
Tom, I think you'd better take him to St George's. It looks like a serious head injury. I remember that Longley Road is closed, so go round the one-way system and take him to Park. Bear left and you should find yourself in Blackshaw Road. Oh, he's looking a little better. I'll get him another blanket. Here we are. Oh, his colour's come back. Tom, get a move on. You know I've got to be up at Spurs by 3 o'clock. You know I haven't missed a game all season. Oh, they might have a few injuries, but when Tottenham get going, there's not a team to touch them. Oh, not a look at that. Look, he's shivering.
I've got one of his scarves here.
All right, put it around his neck.
Right.
Is that an Arsenal scarf?
Yeah, he's a season ticket holder.
OK, pull the scarf really tight as you can. Lovely. Mind your backs.
Good job we're telepathic, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's up with the Sergeant Major this morning?
What do you mean?
He's just cancelled all weekend leave.
Oh, no, we're not rehearsing Troop in the Colour again, are we? I can't stand all this royalty nonsense.
Oh, me neither. They say the Queen likes gynecological jokes.
Well, she ought to. She married one.
I can't stand this job.
You can't move, you can't talk.
Having this bloke sitting on my back's driving me.
There's nothing to read in here. Duchess of York, Fergie, Sarah Ferguson. They all look the same to me. And this one here, she's described as a cover girl. That's going a bit far. She's not a cover girl. She's never a cover girl. Not unless the magazine in question is Farming Today. It's not on. Do you remember when she was criticised for spending too much time skiing? And so with supreme tact, she arranged to be interviewed at her favourite ski resort. At one point she said, "Oh, I think everybody should go skiing." And I thought, well, so do I. But you've got all their money.
There we are, sir.
That's fine, thank you.
Some people are so narrow-minded, though. I went down the off-licence the other night. You know, the one at the end of the road.
Oh, yeah, I've been past it.
I stuck my head through the door, but the bloke wouldn't serve me. I only wanted a can of Guinness.
It's prejudice. That's what it is. If you're a horse, they just don't want to know.
Look at what happened to that grey stallion last week. The one who works up at the palace.
Oh, yeah?
He fell over and broke his leg. It was a simple fracture, lower fibula, you know, nothing too serious. Do you know what happened? Somebody shot him.
What? Did you get the bloke what done it?
Get the bloke what done it? It was only the vet. It's a conspiracy, that's what it is.
It makes you wonder, don't it? I've had an headache all week. I daren't say anything.
Will you stop doing that?
I can't help it. We had the cane at our school. The headmaster was a bit short-sighted, so some of the boys used to put a book down the back of their trousers. I went one step further. I used to put a small public library down the back of mine. It was a little red brick building. Old people used to come in to read the papers. Well, it was warm, you know. But I was strict with them. They weren't allowed to smoke. And at 5:30, they had to get out. One day I got 6 of the best and it smashed up the reference section. I had to lay off 4 staff. In 1687, Sir Isaac Newton discovered that apples fell out of trees. And they gave him a knighthood for that. I wouldn't have minded living in them days. Pretty damn easy to get a knighthood, I would have thought. Just go up to Charles II and say, beer makes you drunk. Can I have a knighthood, please? Oh, and my mate Gary's discovered that sheep can't roller skate. Can he have one as well? What did people do before Isaac Newton discovered that apples fell out of trees? How do they make apple pies? Did they climb up the tree with some pastry crust and half a bucket of custard? Edge along the branch trying to peel the apple? You come home from school, your mother says you better eat that pudding. I nearly broke me neck making that. I've been an hour waiting for my x-rays.
Have you? I think they're still looking at mine.
It's a shambles. What's wrong with you, then?
I think I've got a stomach ulcer.
Oh. You know the best cure for that, don't you?
No?
Radiation therapy.
They haven't mentioned that.
No, they wouldn't. It's too expensive. That's why they'll try and fob you off with a load of pills.
Oh. They have started me on these.
You ought to get yourself up to Sellafield. There's more than enough radiation there. Just stick your stomach against the main gate. You'll soon be all right.
I think I'll stick with the tablets for the time being.
Please yourself. You'll be dead in a week.
So, you're waiting for x-rays then, are you?
Yes, I'm quite an unusual case. They've had to x-ray my hair. It's got completely out of control. It's got a life of its own. I found it making an omelette in the kitchen last night. Has that ever happened to you?
No.
That's not the half of it. They went missing for 3 weeks.
Where did it go?
It was delivering parcels in the centre of London. I saw it driving a van down Oxford Street. Makes you feel stupid when your own hair gets a part-time job. And the doctors, they don't know anything. They're useless.
I don't know. Dr. Gillespie seems to be very good.
I broke my leg last year. I come in here, some junior doctor wanted to make a plaster cast. I says, don't be stupid, you'd want a statue of my leg. Mind you, some of the stuff they put in the art galleries these days. I went into an art gallery the other day. The place was full of office equipment. Papers, pens, typewriters, desk diaries. I don't call that art. What sort of exhibition is that?
Well, perhaps it's some kind of statement about communication in the late 20th century. Which gallery was it?
W.H. Smith's in the High Street. They must think we're mugs.
We've just had the results of your x-rays, and it's quite obvious there's nothing wrong with you. This is the 9th time you've been to this hospital with some ridiculous non-existent illness. Quite frankly, Mr. Bassett, you've been wasting our time.
No, I'm Mr. Bassett.
You're Mr. Bassett. Well, don't let me see you in this hospital again.
Yes, Doctor.
Now, Mr. Thompson, about your hair. We think we know why it's been driving a delivery van.
Oh, good. I was worried, because it's me who's got to pay the parking tickets, you see. Ladies and gentlemen, I, the great Pimento, will now attempt the impossible. I challenge these chains and shackles to bind me, the great Pimento.
And so, we pay our last respects to our brother, the great Pimento.
Look at this. It says here, more people die in hospitals than in snack bars. Makes you think, doesn't it? I know where I'm going when I get a heart attack. Spud you like. No point in taking chances. I was walking down the street the other day. Suddenly this bloke pulls a knife on me. Now, in a situation like this, you should surprise your attacker. So I started to beat myself up. One punch to the stomach took me totally by surprise. I don't know my own strength. And you still get these adverts in the paper. Charles Atlas says you too can have a body like mine. They buried him in 1968. And who wants a body like that? I get the women interested, wouldn't it? All decomposed, bits falling off. Go down a disco, do that, and your arm's flown off. And you get a questionnaire to answer. Are you a 7-stone weakling? Do toddlers kick sand in your face? When you meet a woman, do your underpants fill up? If the answer is yes to all these questions, ask a friend to help you tear off the coupon at the bottom of this page. And you get these historical dramas set around the turn of the century. And one character says to another, I heard a young man make a remarkable speech in the House of Commons. I wouldn't be surprised if he became Prime Minister one day. And his name is Winston Churchill. And you're meant to think, what an incredible prediction. I think it'd be more amazing if he said, I've just met a young chap called Churchill. Mark my words, one day he'll be a fat, bald alcoholic. But I think the unluckiest man who ever lived was my uncle. Just before the end of the Second World War, he decided to book a fortnight's holiday in Hiroshima. He checked into his hotel room 2 hours before the bomb, new suit. He went over the road for a paper and got run down by a bus.
You see, Sheridan, you've given us something of a problem.
How many times do we have to go through this, Maynard?
You were one of our top agents. Then one day you disappear behind the Iron Curtain. 3 months later, you turn up with some story about being kidnapped by the KGB. And what Control wants to know is, whose side are you on?
Look.
Tell me again what happened in Munich.
I met my contact in the hotel lobby. He gave me the microfilm, I gave him 30,000 Deutschmarks.
And what happened then?
I took the microfilm and left it in my hotel room. I then booked a flight for Prague. Well, Tim Maynard makes a mistake.
Listen, Sheridan.
You never were too good at the technical side of things, were you, Maynard?
You mean?
Remember the time you bugged the telephones in the Romanian embassy? And you used the same frequency as the local radio station?
Well, what about it?
Every time the ambassador picked up the phone, he heard somebody say, hello, Brian, I'm a first-time caller.
Yes, but...
One week he had to read out the football results.
All right, that's enough. We've opened up a yellow file on you, Sheridan.
A yellow file?
Yes. Perhaps this is more serious than you imagine. Let's talk about your bank account, shall we?
I've got nothing to hide.
Before you disappeared, we discovered that somebody was making regular monthly payments of £1,200 directly into your account. We also discovered that you were withdrawing this money in small amounts every few days. Who was paying you, Sheridan?
You were. That was my salary.
£1,200 a month?
Yes.
That's more than I get.
I was on special duties.
What special duties?
Controller suspected for some time that one of our top people with full access to highly sensitive material was, in fact, an idiot.
Idiot? That's impossible.
Is it? I wasn't captured by the KGB. I've been working undercover for the past 3 months, and I've been following you.
Well, surely you don't suspect me of being the idiot?
Let's look at this last week. On Monday, on your way to work, you got on the wrong bus and had to go back home again. On Tuesday, you lost the keys to your office. On Wednesday, you found the keys to your office, but you couldn't find your office. And on Thursday, you stuffed a teddy bear full of jam and squashed it inside a library book. We're still not quite sure why you did that.
This is all very well, but you can't prove anything.
Can't I? This interrogation is supposed to be tape recorded, but you made a complete mess of it, haven't you, Maynard?
That was just a bluff, Sheridan. A bluff to get you talking. At this very moment, downstairs in the basement, 2 of my men are recording every word we say. Does that sound like the actions of an idiot to you?
Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 3, Nottingham Forest 3, Leeds United 2. Now, Glenn Miller with In the Mood.
During the Blitz and the Second World War, my dad used to say, don't worry about the bombs. The only bombs you've got to worry about are the ones that have got your names written on them. That scared the next-door neighbours, Mr. and Mrs. Doodlebug.